the class of 2017 won last year, and I expect y'all to win again. So how do you think y'all are going to do that?
We're stronger.
We have had more guys show up to more practices this year. Like we have had at least I would say about 10 guys to every one of our practices each time, and that's been able to help them scrimmage against each other and get the game-like feel.
When we don't practice, they go practice on their own.
Yeah, this is true. And not only have they prepared more than last year, even though they won last year too, but they even have been practicing outside, so with wind and other things that make it harder to play. So playing inside the court will be really easy.
And we've had to give very little direction during practice because the guys already know what to do.
And they're way more enthusiastic.
Okay, last year y'all only won by 2 points. Was that just luck, or do you think that was skill?
We tried to give them a little bit
A win's a win. I don't think anyone denies a win. Like if you win at any sport, do you really count how much you won by, or just the fact that, oh, you got to win?
And I think that the hardest part of the game is when it comes down to the wire. So that shows that they have like not only the physical strength, but also mental strength to push through and win in the tough moments.
And also, in the first set, we were down by quite a few points, so I think that it's impressive that we came out with the W.
So, Alyssa, before the interview, you mentioned that you hadn't been to a practice yet.
I was at a funeral.
How does that
Should I drop the mic?
But it doesn't matter if she's like been to a practice, because she was at almost every practice last year, which we have basically the exact same team from last year, and she knows what they all can do. And she is so supportive of our team in general that you don't have to be present to have spirit.
And I think it's really important that we have a lot of players come, and given that, I mean, not to like rat you out, but you're the only one that came to one of your practices where we have 15 players that came to our practice. I think if we have 5 coaches instead of 6, we should be good.
Yes.
What are some weaknesses that the juniors have that y'all are going to target?
Numbers.
Also, just the fact that we know that our guys can work together as a team. With not that many players gone to the junior practices, they don't really know how they're going to flow as a team, because it takes a long time to work on team bonding and team development. And so I think because we have a whole year of experience basically with the same guys, they already know what each one of them can do, and so they're going to be able to work together really well this year.
And also, they mentioned how they have a lot of tall front row players, but we have good back row and front row players to get the ball up and for the front row to hit it.
How many guys will y'all have out there?
Well, we had 15 come. We had 15 come to our last practice, so that wasn't more than enough to play 6-on-6 and have extra. So.
And we still have more guys who haven't been able to come to the 2 practices that are still contacting us wanting to play. So I would say between like 15 and 20. I know for sure 12, but more people are asking to come play.
How many practices have you had?
We have had 3 practices, plus I would say we had 6 last year.
Yeah, and we're having one more.
We've also got one today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
What y'all learn from playing last year?
Yeah, we're a good team, and the fact that last year I would say they did have like a lot of height on us last year with that senior class, but the fact that their height didn't make them win. We worked so much on fundamentals last year. I think we spent like every practice working specifically on passing or serving, and that really helped us be able to have that advantage over the senior class last year, because they hadn't had, I don't think, any practices, and they were just showed up to play.
For sure. There goes the mic drop. So, like I said earlier, We have a lot of enthusiasm. And just wait till you see the shirts because that just proves our point.
And the boys have become in charge of, like Alyssa said, their spirit, and I think that just shows their unity as a team even more.
And not to mention, last year they also matched with just like the white shirts. Like they were ready to go last year, even with matching on everything. So, and this year they just took it up even another whole notch. So we're gonna dominate this year.
A lot of notches.
Why didn't you order shirts last year?
The guys aren't just like girls are in charge of their Powderpuff shirt. Guys are in charge of their shirts. They decided as a guy team that they were going to be in white shirts because it was our class color, and they wanted to represent.
They spent more time like focusing on actually playing the game than the outfits, so they're a little preoccupied with that.
And they tried to save some money and make it homemade last year so they could go all out this year.
Yeah.
Here they are now.
Woo!
What do y'all expect to win against this team, or like what are y'all challenges?
The junior team hasn't shown any unity or ability to play the sport of volleyball at all. I'm not really worried whatsoever about this game.
I think at this point we're just playing against ourselves. You know, at this point it's an all-mental game. So I think if we get on the court and we prove ourselves right of winning again for the second year in a row, then I think we'll have no problem.
I feel like we've been playing as a team, and so I think we're all connected together. We all have one mind in unison, so I feel like we're going to go out there and play our best.
So the juniors said they have tall front row players. Would y'all say y'all have taller front row players?
Well, I probably can't speak for that, so I'm going to give it to Paul.
I'd say we have Scott Martin, Austin Strozier. We have me, I guess. We have several players above 6'1", 6'2", so I think we're looking in a very good position with our front row.
Yeah. The back row is really impressive too. Okay. Thank you.
How upset would y'all be if y'all lost?
I mean, to be honest, I don't think we're going to lose at all, so there's no reason to pretend or guess at how upset we would or wouldn't be at this moment.
I didn't really know losing was an option.
That's just a hypothetical. So.
Okay.
What do you like about your coaches?
They're pretty cool.
Asked by the coaches.
We've learned how to be a better team and how to work more as a unit as opposed to 6 individual players. So teaching us to be more cohesive in our movements on the court really helps us out.
So you have a white ball, and you get that white ball over the net in 3 hits and get it to touch the ground on the other side. Thanks, coaches.
Can you tell us a little bit about your shirts?
That's confidential. We would tell you, but we'd have to kill you.
How are they going to make us feel? How are they going to make the juniors feel?
Salty.
Enough said.
Who are you most afraid of on the other team?
We were considering them a team.
I'd say the only real danger we're facing is Uche, just because of his vertical. That's the only concern. Other than that, I think we have it in the bag.
I think I'm most afraid of that one player that came to practice that day. He seems like he got a very instructive one-on-one coaching, so I'm not entirely sure what the rest of their team looks like.
What are some concerns that you have going into this game, or do you have any concerns, and if not, why?
I don't think really we need any concerns. I think we're really confident in our players, so I think we're going to go out there and be confident, and I think that's the key.
What makes you so confident?
Last year we went up against guys like Corbin and Sam Brown, and so if we have, sorry to call you out, but Joseph DeCecco, who's the one guy that made it to practice, if that's our opponent, then there is no opponent, so. Even more of my point.
Numbers, 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 and numbers.
there's nothing left to say. I mean, this is going to be a show up, a win, and a leave game. There's not going to be much competition. To be honest, I'm kind of afraid that we're going to get bored during the game.
We'll have to find something to do.
I have a question for Paul Rush. Will you be wearing a hat in this game?
I might switch it up with a headband, but I guess you'll see on Friday.
Okay. Any final words you want to say to the juniors before the game?
Salt.
I mean, hopefully they get 6 players. If they aren't showing up to practice, I'm not confident that they'll show up to the game.
Do you have any words of encouragement for them since it's their first year?
Have fun.
It's not all about winning. That's probably what I would say to them.
It's about winning.
Okay, that's all the time we have for you all.
Sweet.
So, thank you.